Okay, let's jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something I'm super excited about, the actual engineering behind connected homes. IoT and smart home automation aren't just buzzwords anymore. They are literally redefining our everyday spaces. But, and this is a big but, with this massive tech shift comes a very real challenge. We're facing a huge skills gap. How do you actually learn to build, configure, and troubleshoot these complex systems? Well, that's exactly what we're breaking down today. We're focusing heavily on what Glotech Academy offers its students and how their premier training pathways are practically reverse engineering the way field engineers and automation specialists are taught. So if you've ever wondered how the pros make smart homes tick, you are absolutely in the right place. So let me just ask you point blank, are you ready to put your career on the fast track? Look, whether you're a working electrician wanting to upskill, a field engineer who's totally over dealing with legacy systems, or just an automation enthusiast looking to break into the incredibly lucrative IoT space, the opportunity right now is, well, it's staggering. The industry is facing a severe shortage of certified professionals. And getting those high-paying jobs faster, it isn't just about having a flashy resume. It's about having the precise, hands-on technical skills that employers and high-end clients are desperately looking for right now. Now, when you look at elite smart home automation training, Glotech Academy stands out instantly. It was formed by Light and Magic Automation in direct collaboration with the KNX organization over in Belgium. So right off the bat, you know this isn't just some pop-up tutorial center. And a quick refresher, KNX is the global open standard for smart home and building automation. It's the universal language these devices speak. Glotech is India's top-rated training center, and this is absolutely crucial. It's the only center in the entire country with a +++ rating. That massive distinction means the curriculum, the facility, and most importantly, what the students actually achieve are fully vetted by the European organization setting the worldwide standard. Okay, so the biggest question for any student is how do they actually teach you? We've all sat through those agonizing death by PowerPoint classes, right? Endless theory. But in this industry, theory without practical execution is basically useless. Glotech totally flips the script. Their training model heavily contrasts textbook theory with actual hands-on execution. You aren't just memorizing concepts, you're executing real-world projects right there on a dedicated training table, designing, configuring, and commissioning. But here's the real kicker. They teach you how to diagnose errors. Look, anybody can plug a cable in and cross their fingers, but diagnosing a fault in a complex web of IoT devices, that is exactly what separates the amateurs from the highly paid pros. And they do this with a strict limit of just 4 students per batch. 4. I mean, that's smaller than a starting lineup in basketball. In technical education, that is practically unheard of. This completely changes the classroom dynamic and really highlights what this training gives you: unmatched, laser-focused attention. You're not getting lost in the back of a room with 50 other people fighting for 5 minutes on the equipment. With a maximum of 4 people, it's essentially a one-on-one mentorship. So when you make a mistake on that training table, and trust me, you definitely will, an expert is right there looking over your shoulder, helping you diagnose exactly why it happened. There's another concept they use that's a total game changer for your career longevity, and that's brand-neutral training. Glotech Academy is actually the only truly brand-neutral training center in India. Why should you care about that? Well, in the real world, a smart home ecosystem almost never relies on just one single brand. If you only train on one company's hardware, you're locked in. By exposing you to a massive array of products from a bunch of different KNX brands, Glotech ensures you're incredibly versatile. You're ready to walk onto any job site, look at a wild mix of keypads, sensors, and actuators from different manufacturers, and seamlessly integrate the whole shebang. Why? Because you understand the underlying universal protocol, not just one company's marketing brochure. All this foundational knowledge builds into a really clear upward trajectory. Step 1 is the KNX Basic course. There are literally 0 prerequisites here. It starts you right from the fundamentals, blending that deep dive theory with practical installation. Once you nail that, you unlock Step 2, the KNX Advanced course. This is where the magic happens. You master complex integrations. Think HVAC, visualization, fail-safe systems, security, the stuff high-end clients pay top dollar for. And then finally, Step 3 is the KNX Tutor course. This is a 3-day intensive that empowers you to actually provide KNX training to others. It explores the absolute deepest depths of the protocol. It is a complete, structured ladder going from absolute beginner to absolute master. But what really sets them apart is the ecosystem of support they offer beyond those 3 main steps. It's fantastic. If you're totally new, they offer a completely free basic preparatory course just to get your feet wet, plus advanced and refresher courses later down the line.
And for flexible learning, say you can't make it to their center in Mumbai. No problem. They offer online and live sessions with guided practical work, so you can join in from anywhere. Perhaps the biggest perk for your day-to-day career is the access you get to their community forum. You get ongoing technical help, product updates, and killer networking. Basically, you're never left out in the cold after graduation.
Of course, the proof is always in the real-world results. Take a look at Kamlesh Fathalani, one of their students. He noted that complex things were explained so logically, making the training incredibly impressive. But the most vital takeaway from his experience is this quote, right here. "I have not any issues executing KNX projects after this course." Right? That is the ultimate goal, translating classroom time directly into flawless, confident execution on a real job site. It totally validates that their hands-on, diagnostic approach actually works when the training wheels finally come off. And a huge part of that success comes straight down to the instructors. Trainees are always pointing out the immense value of the person standing at the front of the room. Student Mohammed Junaid specifically praised the lead instructor, Mr. Mihir Shah, for training with so much passion and bringing an, quote, ocean of experience to the classroom. You have to remember, Glotech is driven by field engineers who have over 20 years of hands-on experience handling these complex automation projects. You aren't being taught by someone who just read the manual last week. You're absorbing decades of hard-earned on-the-job wisdom. You're learning the unwritten rules of the industry from seasoned veterans. And that level of expertise creates a profound impact on the students. When people like Deepu Joseph finish their basic training, the quality actually inspires them to voluntarily come back for more. In his feedback after praising the instructor's years of experience, he specifically mentions hoping to attend more classes for the advanced and tutor levels. Let's be honest, when an initial training program actively inspires students to continue climbing that certification ladder, well, that tells you everything you need to know about the long-term value being delivered here. So we've walked through the globally recognized plus certification, the brand-neutral philosophy, those intense 4-person hands-on batches, and the multi-tiered expert pathways, which really just leaves us with one final provocative question. Are you ready to gain immediate access to the world of smart homes? Look, the IoT revolution is happening right now, whether you're on board or not, but you have a proven, structured pathway right here to transform your technical skills and fast-track your career in a booming industry. So, are you going to just watch the automation revolution happen, or are you going to get the training to actually wire it? Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.